Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this video on the new moon in Capricorn happening this Friday, December 23rd at 5:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York City time for reference. So both the sun and moon will be exact, both in the sign of Capricorn, which is a cardinal earth energy. And this is initiating a new season. A few days before, we have the winter solstice and the sun ingresses into Capricorn. We also have Mercury and Venus in Capricorn right now, and this lunation, both the sun and the moon, since they're in the same position, same degree point, I should say, are both squaring Jupiter in Aries. And so again, this lunation may feel a little bit weighted, heavy, serious, because Capricorn is all about getting down to business, getting down to work, setting up those systems, those structures, those habits, those rituals. If you haven't read any books or self-development books on goals and habit building and tracking, this might be a great point to dive back into those for a refresher. But Capricorn is about getting back to business, getting responsible, and taking a look at, okay, what is it that we want to bring into this world? What do we want to manifest? What do we want to create? Because we're not going to do it hastily. We're not going to do this quickly, and we're not going to just put shit together and call it a day, because Capricorn looks to the long term. Make sure every piece of the puzzle is strong, it connects, it's committed, and that it's able to build on top of one another. And so this, again, this lunation, especially with the square in Jupiter, the square with Jupiter in Aries, there's a tendency, because Aries is again a fire sign, and it's also a cardinal, so we have two cardinal energies here that want to initiate, and Aries tends to want to go ahead, sometimes without thinking, because something may be fun, it looks exciting, because we just want to do it. And that's where some of the tension could come in, because Capricorn brings us down, grounded into reality, and also shakes us. It's like that snowball effect. It's like, no, what is that we have to focus on first before we jump there? Where should we put our energy and our time right now? What's the first piece of the puzzle in this larger goal or plan that we want to reach eventually? And so that's just something to watch out for with this lunation. If you're feeling a sort of, okay, I want to dive into this, but you haven't really taken the time to fully investigate something. Maybe, again, sometimes things work out. I'm not saying they don't. It's like a full card energy, taking that type of risk. But Capricorn is, again, this lunation, because it's occurring at 1 degree and 33 minutes of Capricorn, it's very brand new. It's leaving like the slate wide open and clean for us to manifest our heart's desire. That's the most important thing. And to do so in a way that we are going to be able to invest our time and energy into creating and building what it is that we want. Something else too with this energy, even though it's occurring before the calendar new year, before we transition from 2022 to 2023, I feel like with the new moon, actually with the winter solstice, that was more about releasing and letting go and initiating a new energetic chapter too, but also cyclical. And then with this new moon in Capricorn happening, to me, it almost feels like a new year. And so this is prime time for manifesting and planting those seeds, for really getting clear on your goals. And again, that energy stays with us for about 2 weeks until the next lunar cycle. And we'll see the fruit of our labor, in about 2 weeks as well, but also 6 months down the road. And start seeing some of those seedlings grow around springtime, right? When we transition into a new season. So let's dive into 3 things to know about this lunation. I don't want to go too much into detail. I wanted to give you a brief overcap or review of this lunation, but this is about getting our shit together and really using and harnessing that energy that we have to create, to set those intentions for what we want to create, and to do so with meaning and not just in a rushed way. So 3 things to know. The first thing that we have, rest. And I know what you're thinking, because when I go on to some of the others, they almost don't seem like they make sense. It's safe for you to rest. This was something that I intuitively got during my meditation, especially when it came to this lunation, because Capricorn again is ruled by Saturn. Saturn can be very disciplined, the disciplinary, I should say, of the zodiac wheel of all the signs. It's again takes responsibility, very ambitious, gets things done, and sometimes there's a tendency for this Capricorn energy to keep working, and so burnout is very possible. And so I felt a lot of like I heard zing, but like buzzing energy through me, and for me that indicated some level of perhaps a dysregulated nervous system or some anxiety. And it's important to consider rest and balancing your goals, your ambitions, your drive, perhaps the energy and time that you have with rest. And sometimes when we're in this energy and we can feel it revving up, we can feel it kind of being pushed to start taking some small steps, it can overwhelm us. And so it's important to rest. What does that look like? It's going to look very different for everyone. But essentially, take concerted effort to rest your brain, to rest your body, to completely and holistically just take a time out. And that could look in different ways as I talk about boundaries related further down. That could look different ways for everyone, but it's important that despite the energies that you're feeling, that you also have to honor the reciprocal side of it, right? Because without that, you're going to keep going and going and going and burning the fuse with that end. 2, no shortcuts. I kept seeing Lego pieces fall, almost like a Tetris style event. Oh my goodness, my wiener dog is behind us. Anyways, I kept seeing Lego pieces falling, and they were, you know, when Tetris falls, they kind of go on top of each other. But this time I was seeing gaps. And so for me, I got, do not take shortcuts. In the planning process, in the restructuring or structuring process of your goals, of what it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're trying to imagine, to create, to dream, to bring into fruition, make sure that you create a solid foundation. Again, many times we use it like a house as an example. If you're building a house, let's say on the beach, do not take a shortcut. Do not just put wooden stilts on underneath the house and call it a day, right? And I know many people wouldn't. I'm using this really as a superficial example, but take the time to make sure that you assess the ground level, to make sure that you're using the right materials, the weight of the house, all of that. In the same vein with your goals, make sure that you establish the foundation. For example, if you want to, maybe you want to take on expanding your social network or friendship group, but you're feeling tired. Well, part of your foundation there is making sure you feel good, you feel complete, you feel rested and whole, and you feel good within yourself first and with your physical body before you are able to share that energy and time with others. So if you're lacking in sleep and you're not feeling well and you're dragging your behind out to attend different events in hopes of expanding your own social network and circles, you're only going to hurt yourself. So the foundation, again, is really important here. Don't take any shortcuts. I kept seeing one Lego piece at a time. Make sure you go in increments, because Capricorn is slow and steady. It's not rushed like many of the other earth signs. It's about looking at your long-term goal, your destination, and working backwards. And you're trying to make sure each step of the way is solid, like check mark, before you continue ahead. 3, increase boundaries. I heard fortify, fortification, and then I saw a castle with a moat. And you know, sometimes when you bring that up, the door, the gate, I should say, the bridge, no one can enter because of the moat unless they find other ways to circumvent those little pockets of space to get into the castle. So it's going to be really important that you increase your boundaries, that you learn to say no, that you learn to guard your time, your energy, your space, because that is precisely going to be the aspect that'll be what provides you the freedom to rest, to pursue your goals, to work, because Saturn, again, rules over Capricorn. Capricorn, I always feel weighted when I'm in Capricorn. And it's my south node, so this is something that I'm very comfortable with, actually, very comfortable engaging in. But when we get into Saturn, it's about work. It's about getting down and getting back to business. It's not playing around with it. If you misappropriate or misuse the energy to your disadvantage, you're not going to see those seeds blossom, right? Come springtime and even further down the road. So it's important. And this isn't about making those giant leaps and saying, okay, you know, think of whatever goal you want to do. I want to move, for, let's say, out of the country. It's about taking those small incremental steps related to not taking shortcuts, right? Most people wouldn't say, I'm going to move tomorrow, and give themselves less than 24 hours to do that move without planning, without consulting, especially if you have a partner, family, jobs, pets, whatever. So in that same vein, increasing your boundaries and really assessing them and asking yourself, what do they look like for me in this season of my life? What does this mean? How can I better reclaim or claim back some of my own time, my space, my energy, so that I can accomplish what it is that I want to? Because this lunation is super powerful. Again, it's a super moon. It's also, to me, I get more of a New Year's vibe with this lunation happening this Friday, December 23rd, instead of, most people think the calendar New Year, right? January 1st. But by that time, the energies will have shifted. We will be at that point in a retrograde in Capricorn. So we will still be very much in a reflective period. That's why the energies now we can harness, set those intentions and know, okay, there's going to be some revisions happening. There's going to be a little bit of a waiting pause, but I got this down and I can still work on things slowly. So those are the three things to keep in mind. Again, remember, you more than anyone are in charge of your own journey. You have your free will. This is about doing what matters most to you, what's important for you in this time of your life. Use the energies that we have, especially with the winter solstice. Oh, pardon me, I'm like having pre-Mercury retrograde communication issues. This is about using the winter solstice vibes and also the upcoming retrograde in Mercury happening very soon on the 29th, using them to your advantage and taking that time out. This is a good time for rest. That's why a lot of folks, when we get into the new year, you don't have that energetic vibe of like, oh, I can't wait to go after my goals, because it's not there. We just, you know, a week into that, we just had passed the winter solstice, and that's about endings, death, completions, and rest, going within. It's not really a time to light a firecracker. We're not even close to the light, but we're heading towards that light. Anyways, I don't want this to be too long. I hope this has helped someone. I'm wishing you all a beautiful lunation. Set those intentions. Don't be afraid to dream big, because with this Capricorn energy, it's about putting in the work, and the universe will match, almost like a 401k or retirement plan. You know, when some companies match, put in your work, because the universe will help you and co-create and help you achieve what it is that you want. You just have to believe. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you soon. Take care.